Alright, hello people, welcome back to another video. Now this is something kind of special because I'm going to be showing you how to fix up steering that's locking up on your Dragon Raptor or VDM 10 Apollo Ghost. Now this is for the new model, so the new model stem. First thing you want to do is you want to take the bolts off here on the side. And then you want to loosen the bolt right there. Okay, I gotta take my headlight off of it. Okay. See, and then you just want to loosen this bolt here. So what I mean by locking steering, not the center locking, is what I mean. It's when it's locking up everywhere. So you just want to loosen it like this. Just want to keep loosening it until it comes off. Like that. Okay. Okay, now there may be a few grub screws in these holes here. Make sure you loosen those so that way the bolt can come out. So now we can continue like this. Okay, be careful guys, because when this bolt does come out, it's just going to drop. The fork is going to drop like this. Now you can take the fork out and lay it somewhere. Before we remove the rest of the fork though, let's take off the brakes so we can put it on the table. Okay, so we're going to need this tool set here. And then you're just going to get these two bolts right here. Now I have hydraulic brakes. They may be a bit different to mechanical brakes. Just going to take the bolts off right here so we can take the caliper off. Like that. There's one. And that's two. Now we can take the fork off and have a look at the bearings. Because the bearings could be the issue as well, or they might be misaligned. So, okay, there's two of our pieces. Okay, so here is the bearings. We took the fork off, and this is the bearing that goes underneath. I believe this is the bearing that corrects your steering when it's centered. And then you got your top bearing here. Now I'm just testing the bearings. The bearings feel fine to me. Now, if the bearings feel like they're locking up, then that means you need to change the bearings. But if they feel fine, then maybe they're a bit misaligned. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to check if they're properly aligned up and then put the fork back together and have a look. Okay, so I'm just going to give them a nice tap like this, or could just pop them out like this and have a look and see if they're okay or not. Sometimes even just a little misalignment can make it lock up. Now it is recommended to get a rag so you don't get dirty. I'm just going to wipe up this. I am going to put new grease, so don't worry. Okay, another thing could be gunk in your steering. So we're going to clean that up and then put it back together and find out. Now, I checked the bearing. The bearing feels fine to me, so there is nothing wrong with the bearing. Same with this one here. So the bearings can be left alone. So the next thing you want to do is you just want to clean up where the steering is. Even take this bearing off, clean in the inside and stuff. Just make sure there's like nothing in there causing your steering to lock up. Even just a little bit of dirt can cause it. Okay, so I'm going to take this bearing off and have a look in here. See this piece right here? You should check under that too, because that is part of the bearing. So this bearing is fine. So what I think the cause is for my locking up is the underneath bearing. So we are going to check that. So first you're going to take these two rub screws off. And then you're going to pop this bearing off and just give it a clean and put some new grease and stuff on it. Okay. And there's our other bearing. And then there's this piece here. Okay, so here's the piece. Now it's probably not going to come out all the way, but you can see there's a little bit of dirt there. So we're going to clean that up. So I'm going to get my rag and I'm just going to give it a nice wipe. And then I'm going to put some new grease on it. Even on top of here. That looks so much better. Now we can grease it up. You can use lithium grease or normal grease. I'm going to use lithium grease because that's what I have. Just going to go squirt, squirt. And then you're just going to like this. Just get it nice and greased up. Doesn't need to be fully greased up. Okay. And then we can slide this piece like this. Feels a lot better. Now, let's check the bearing. The bearing feels fine, and it's already greased up. I'll put the bearing in. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna check the top bearing. See, I've cleaned up everything inside. Now we're gonna grease this one up. Okay, got the top bearing done. Feels good. Another thing you should check, you should know actually, is these grub screws. If they're too far in, or if they're too far out, if they're too far out, then that can actually cause it to scrape on the frame and feel like it's locking up on you. So make sure you're putting in those correctly. Otherwise, if that was the case, well, you just maintained your steering and all you needed to do was check your grub screws. But that could not be the cause. So you should always just follow the steps I do. So now we can put the steering back together since we're done and test it. Okay, so you're just going to put the fork back in like normal. And then you're going to put these washers in. Make sure to lubricate them. So pop a little bit there. Just a little bit there. You can see. Yep. Okay. One thing I forgot to do. Do not put your fork back together right now. Put in the grub screws. I almost forgot. And then you can put your steering back together. So just like this. You can just screw them in with your hand or use a tool. So, like that. That is perfect. Do the same with your back. So you want it to look something about like this. So 2 thread in the front and about 3 in the back. Okay, now you can put your fork back on. So now we can lubricate our fork. Just like this. Doesn't need to be a whole crap ton, you know. Okay. Now you're just going to grab this piece here. Slide it in like this. Make sure it's straight. If your steering is not straight, it's going to feel like it's locking up. Put a bit of lubricant on here. Try it if you get it on the frame. You can always just wipe that off with some alcohol. Okay. You're going to get this piece here. And then you're going to put some lubricant on this piece too. So, just like that. There you go. A little bit on here too. So it doesn't creak and squeak and you know all that stuff. So just like this. Careful, don't get it in the holes where the bolts go. You see? We're going to put some in here too. Just like this. Don't get it in the hole where the bolt goes. Okay, there you go. Wow, that is dirty. I'm going to clean that real quick. Okay, now you can slide this piece back onto here. Okay, so right here. And you're just going to pop it on. There we go. And it's on. Now you can grab your bolt and put it back underneath like this. I'm gonna grease this up a little bit. Okay, don't grease up the thread bit, just this bit here. Okay, now you can put in the bolt and thread it till you can't thread it anymore. Then you can start tightening it with the Allen key. See the bolts? Okay, I'm gonna use the Allen key now. Okay, got it tightened. Now before you put everything back together, let's make sure it doesn't lock up. So we're gonna bring the stem up and check it. Okay, so it is not locking up anymore, but you can see my center lock is not lined up properly. So we're going to loosen this bolt and just turn this a little bit. And there we go. It's correctly centered. And now you can put on these bolts here. Right, just like that. So you just want to put one and one here. And then after, you're just going to grab your Allen key and tighten the bolts inside of here. And then you're basically done. And that's how to fix up locking steering. Mine doesn't lock up anymore. You can see center locking done, and it doesn't lock up anywhere else. So thank you for watching, and as always, peace.